Big Mike, how we doing, man?
Can't complain, man. Out here, Chicago, just ready to just get this fight going.
You managed to sample a little bit of the city. What have you seen so far?
Yeah, to be fair, like, I've seen a couple of things. I haven't done too much. This is only our first day. So went into the city on the when we landed. Went to a couple of the shops there, and then back to the hotel, training, so on and so forth. But then today I'm at Soho House here.
Of course.
Did my training here, and then just yeah, get some food, and then media days basically.
Okay, okay. Look, big fight on Saturday that we're definitely going to get to in just a moment. But we need to start by talking about some business because it's been a huge 24 hours for the UFC. They've announced this massive TV deal in the States, $7.7 billion to be on CBS and Paramount Plus over 7 years. I mean, Mike, when you heard those figures, what was your reaction?
Again, for me, it's an amazing deal. It seems to have come out of nowhere. The question is, in terms of, from my perspective, is what does it mean for the fighters? If it doesn't mean anything, then why am I going to be excited for it? Doesn't do anything. So again, I need to understand it a little bit more about what it means. The one thing I like is the fact that people will be able to find fights a bit easier. I guess it's just in the States though.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't really understand exactly what the deal is for us. What does that mean for us? So until I know and understand more, it's hard for me to say anything.
Yeah, so has anyone reached out to you or has your management spoke to anybody who's kind of explained this is what the effects could be for fighters?
Not as of yet. Again, the focus at the moment is obviously just organizing myself for the fight. So again, it's not really going anywhere. I think once I got this fight out of the way, I'll sit down and go through it properly and understand exactly what it means. But obviously I've seen it, everyone's excited for it, so it's come up. But again, it's hard for me to really kind of make any, comments on it.
Look, you're a smart guy, though. You know how business works. From what you understand, do you think this is going to be a positive for fighters, or do you think it's going to be business as usual?
Uh Again, it's down to the UFC. I guess it's down to the guys that make those decisions. They could make it a positive for the fighters, or it could just be a positive for themselves. So I don't know. Again, it's just difficult to know right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose it gives you more leverage when it comes to a new deal, perhaps with the UFC, because you know the big sums that are being brought into the sport, and maybe that can strengthen your negotiating hand, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe again. There's always deals that go on that means the UFC brand, the brand of the UFC can expand, but again, it doesn't necessarily mean it trickles down to fighters. So this is what I need to understand. I need to understand exactly where this 7.7 billion. What is it? What does that mean? Where is it coming into? Where is that being injected into? And then we can kind of figure out whether it is a factor that we can put in our negotiations. But who knows? Again, right now it's still early doors. Everyone's excited, but nobody seems to know what they're excited about. I don't like
Yeah.
to get excited too quickly, so I like to wait and see exactly what that means for us.
Yeah, well, when we do find out, and when you start to find out as well, hopefully we find out that it's going to make its way to the people who make this sport so exciting and makes us love it, the
Yeah,
fighters themselves. Um,
yeah,
so let's talk about fighting. Saturday
yeah.
night, you're at it again. After your last fight in February against Shara, who did you expect to be fighting next?
To be fair, I was expecting to fight someone again, kind of like top 10 within the welterweight division, but wasn't able to get a fighter for some reason. I'm not sure why, but yeah, it seemed to have been a bit more of a struggle. This one, and it happened a lot, not as quickly as I thought. I thought after that performance, people, would be, jumping at the opportunity
Mm.
to get me back in there, and it definitely was a bit slower. So, um, although massive fight in Jared Cannonier moving up, so I'm still happy. But it just took a bit longer than I expected, and in the wrong division.
So, so what do you put that down to? Not being able to get a top 10 in the welterweight? Is it just people's schedules not lining up, or is there some ducking and weaving going on here?
Again, I don't like to if I don't know what I don't know. So, um, it it could be. bit of both. It seemed like from what I heard that everybody was tied up in different things, whether it be an injury, whether it be they've already got fights, so on and so forth. But again, I just find in my short experience in the UFC, I find the welterweight division a lot more political
Mm.
and a lot more, yeah, a lot more difficult for action to happen. Whereas the middleweight just seems to just get it done.
Not only that, but I suppose at this point of fight week, this is when you can really feel the benefit of not having to get down to welterweight, right? We're speaking to
Yeah,
you on Tuesday of fight
definitely,
week.
definitely. Like it's such a big difference. I feel so much more relaxed. I still cut weight, but just there's no stress.
Yeah, yeah, you don't seem stressed.
Nah, no, not at all. Literally just acting like a tourist. We're just walking around and just like going to different places. I'm with my wife, got my teammate Norbert, my camera guy, Kish. One of my friends flew out as well, Yinka. My sister's gonna be here today. So it's a family affair always. So we're just gonna go enjoy ourselves while I do what I need to do for the fight.
Let's talk about Jared Cannonier himself, because I think he's one of these fighters who falls into the category of like people forget how good he can be. You know, I think because people saw what happened when he got to the very top and it didn't look great, but you can forget about some of the guys he's beaten: Sean Strickland, Kelvin Gastelum, Anderson Silva as well. He's got a win over Anderson. I mean, at his best, this is a serious competitor, isn't it?
Man, like what a great name to come up against. For me, this is exactly what I wanted to do. Want to get into the UFC, fighting big names, credible people that have been in there with the best. And he is probably has the definitely has the best resume of all the fighters that have fought so far. So yeah, it's an honor to share the cage with somebody so skilled, so experienced, and like I said, has fought at a high level for so many years. Um, but yeah, no, I'm feeling positive about things though.
When you think about your career, not just in the UFC, but everything you did beforehand as well, I mean, where would this rank in terms of your best wins, the biggest scalps that you've got?
It would definitely be up there, one of the biggest, because again, it gives me a sense of kind of, or even for just for self, a sense of credibility again, because of the types of people that he has fought and beaten, and even the ones that he's lost to, it's been very close. And yeah, he's been very close. So you can tell he is a top tier fighter in the UFC. So it's just a very good scout for me to have won. For me to beat.
Yeah. Do you know what I was thinking before we sat down for this interview? Like, your style has always been so entertaining for people. People have always enjoyed watching you fight. Since you joined the UFC, there's been a whole new audience that have enjoyed your style. Who's a fighter that you like watching? Who's someone that you will be like, I need to make an appointment to see this guy fight?
There's so many people though. There's like the UFC produces so massive amount of talents. Max Holloway is I think the Max Holloway is your like a fighter's your favorite fighter's favorite fighter. Like he's the guy that everybody would make sure they tune in to watch. Um, you know, uh Izzy, my
Mm.
boy. He's another person like even though he hasn't been on the best of streaks of recent. You still, if he turns up to have another fight, everyone's going to tune in. John Jones, the magnitude that he still brings, even though he decided to retire then come back or potentially come back. If he decides to come back and step in the cage, everyone's going to watch. There's so many fighters that they produce their own magic and draw. All of those people I make sure I tune in and watch.
Nice, nice. Look, when you joined the UFC, it seemed inevitable that at some point you and Leon Edwards were going to meet in a welterweight fight, headline in the UK. With everything that's going on with Leon, with his last defeat, do you still see this as a possibility for you guys?
Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
so, because I actually think with his last defeat, it should make it more exciting for him to want to fight me, just because, for the last 2, 3 fights, he's had guys that are just going to want to grab him and take him down to the floor and grapple him. Whereas with me, he knows it's going to be a stand-up fight, which is going to should be a bit more of a draw for him. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah, no, I think I believe I believe he should be a bit more excited to do it, but who knows? We'll see. Hopefully next year when the UFC decides to come back to the UK, usually early March, we may that may be on the cards.
Look, he was criticised after his last fight for a perceived lack of effort during the fight. Mentally, where do you think he's at right now?
I'm not sure, yeah, because he didn't seem himself. The fight before, I almost gave him an excuse. Not gave him an excuse. I feel like he had a very valid excuse fighting at 6 in the morning on his turf. Um, and then yeah, but then obviously this last fight, no real excuses there for him. He just seemed a bit mentally defeated while fighting during the
Mm,
fight. For whatever reason, I'm not sure. People don't understand what goes on behind the curtains. There's always
mm.
forgetting that all of us fighters have lives, and there's so many dynamics that could happen that we won't see, and you probably never even hear about. But um, hopefully, he bounces back from it and he kind of pushes to kind of get to the top again.
Thing is, if you win on Saturday night, there you are knocking off a top 10 middleweight. You might end up messing around and getting yourself in title contention up at 185, right?
Yeah, to be fair, whatever gets me to the title, whatever road gets to the title quickest, I'm happy to do it. And that's what I'm pushing for. That's what I'm driving for. I want a title fight. Uh, um, I don't care what weight. I want that title fight. I would have preferred it at welterweight,
Mm.
but it seems like I'm getting more opportunities at middleweight. So, let's make it happen.
So let's say you do the business on Saturday night. Maybe you fight again towards the start of next year, maybe in March back in the UK. They throw you another big middleweight name. You win that. Then all of a sudden you are right there for a title shot. Who do you think is going to be there, Dricus du Plessis or Hamzat Chimaev?
I just don't know, man. It's such a unique battle because I feel like I'm a hater when I say this every single time I say this, but Duplessis' style doesn't appeal to me. I don't get how he's achieved so much, what he's achieved, but at the same time, I'm like, you gotta. I'm a person that is results based. So even if I don't agree with, you know, the method, if the results are getting the results, you have to appreciate it.
Mm.
And he just somebody that knows how to win. And then you come up against somebody like Hamzat, who you can clearly see the dangers in him and how athletic he is, how strong he is, how I call him Crash Bandicoot because especially those first couple of rounds, he's throwing everything and the kitchen sink at you. Um, and it's an intense pace, but obviously he's struggled in the past with his fitness over a long period of time. So this 5 round fight, Duplessis is definitely going to be more favored in the latter part of the fight if it goes that way. But I think Hamzat definitely in the earlier stages. So I'm personally going to give it to Hamzat. But I've been telling everybody this will be the last time I bet against Duplessis because I feel like every single time he fights, I bet against him and he always wins. So this is the last time. I don't care who the hell he fights after this. I'm betting on him all the time.
He's a one-off, man. He is absolutely fascinating. Look, I just want to throw a couple more things at you before you head off and enjoy Soho House in Chicago. It's a tough life being a
Yeah.
fighter, eh? Look, you've done the kind of crossover boxing before. You're familiar with the world of, your friends with KSI. You know what that world's all about as well. When you hear things like Anthony Joshua potentially fighting Jake Paul, what do you make of that?
My immediate thought is it's just stupid. It's ridiculous. And then I'm like, the business side kicks in. It's like I get it. It's a easy payday for Anthony Joshua, but again, it's credibility grab for Jake Paul. Even if he lost I guess I'm assuming it's going to be like an 8 round fight. Even if he lost that 8 rounds, maybe 10 round fight, it's a credibility grab whether he wins or he loses. I get it. Do I like it? No, I don't really care for it. It seems a bit silly. I feel like but I kind of respect drive to prove everybody that he's a credible boxer. I kind of like his drive to just push himself to calling out guys like Canelo. It's stupid, but at the same time, I like the belief he has in himself. So yes, I'll probably watch the highlight. um, but yeah, and I understand it. It's not something that I'd switch on my TV to go and watch,
Yeah.
but I'll understand it.
Is it dangerous?
It's definitely dangerous. I don't believe Jake Paul's a proper heavyweight for one. And look what AJ did to Francis Ngannou, who's a credible fighter, not a credible boxer, but a credible fighter. And look what he was able to do to him, and make quick work of it. Although obviously we saw Francis Ngannou do well against Tyson Fury, it just shows a different caliber. And again, if you're going up to a heavyweight, it's a dangerous space when you got somebody that is that talented. But again, if he's willing to put himself in that kind of danger and do the work, he's got the financial backing to be able to put himself in the best uh position to be able to win a fight, not win a fight, but be able to at least keep himself safe for the whole fight. Um, but again, I've maybe crazier things. The world is upside down right now. Crazier things have happened. So who knows? Maybe he does do something.
All right, let's end it with this. Saturday night, we know since you've been with the UFC, you've been looking to get a stoppage. Do we see it?
Like honestly believe it's weird. I don't know why, because like I said, I've been rating Jared Cannonier this whole time, but I honestly believe it can more likely come with him because he's so game to fight. I think with other people can play it a little bit safe. But with him, he's gonna come out. He's gonna want to fight. He takes shots. Like I've seen him get hit, get hurt, and come back. But I don't think he's gonna be ready for my speed, my dynamic, my angles, just everything I'm gonna throw towards him. So yeah, I see my finish coming.
All right, man. We look forward to it. Whatever you throw at him, we look forward to watching it.
Thank you.
Keep enjoying fight week. Keep smiling. And best of luck
Definitely.
on Saturday night. We'll talk to you very soon. Okay, Mike?
Definitely, man. Take care, man. Good to see you.